Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Redmen TV and your latest episode of Oppo Preview. This is the big one. Manchester United, so early on in the season as well. It's still sunny, and we're playing Manchester United. What is going on? My name's Dan Club. I'm delighted to say I'm joined by Beth from the United stand to look ahead to this one. Beth, how are you doing? You okay?
Yes, I'm good. Would be a lot better if we'd actually got all 6 points at the start of the season, to be honest with you. But I'm okay. And yeah, looking forward to the game, I think.
Yeah, I think, and I'm kind of in the same boat, to be honest. Although we're going to touch on what happened last season in a bit more detail later on, but Liverpool in recent years have had a bit more joy in this fixture, but still, it's Liverpool United. It's never an enjoyable one until it's over, providing it's gone in your favour, of course. You touched on the start of the season there, so we'll begin there if we can. A win and a loss, of course. Having kept hold of Erik ten Hag, for better or for worse, over the summer. How's the mood based on the opening two games of the season, Beth?
Do you know what? Obviously, before the Brighton game, the mood was brilliant within the fan base. I think we've had a good transfer window. I think some people think it's been amazing. I think it's been good. I would have liked to get more first teamers in, but it's been a good transfer window. We've managed to shift some players that were fringe players, which is good for us. Better than we've usually been. Obviously, Ineos has come in, which is great for us. We've appointed new coaches, Ruud van Nistelrooy, some more coaches behind the scenes, and we're looking like we're on the right track, despite a lot of rival fans thinking, Erik ten Hag's the right guy to lead Manchester United forward because they don't rate him that highly. A lot of the United fan base, I would say the majority of the United fan base, were really happy to see him stay. They understand that it's a project. They understand that you need patience. And we thought, going into this season, we're going to be a lot better than we were last year. There has been some promising signs. I think we have massively improved. The thing is, with the Brighton game, it brought the mood down because even though we were better than last year, and I still stand by that, and we should have won that game, Erik ten Hag threw it. In my opinion, I don't think he started the right starting 11. I think he made the wrong substitutions. And that's where doubts start to creep in because obviously it is make or break for him this season. So he does need to prove himself a little bit. So as much as I do back him, this Liverpool game's massive for us because we'll get to see where we're properly at against, a side that is going to come at us and is going to give us a proper game.
No, absolutely. And I think Liverpool are in a not too dissimilar boat to that last point you just made, because obviously a big transition over the summer when it comes to the managerial hot seat, of course. And Arne Slot started really well, but, he started well against Ipswich and Brentford, with all due respect. I mean, Brentford can cause problems. Ipswich, who knows what that looks like in the fullness of time. But an Ipswich side who we'd expect to overcome, and Brentford at Anfield would also expect to pick up 3 points from that. So this is his first real test on the weekend. So it's going to be really, really interesting. You mentioned transfers there, Beth. Obviously, you've done a couple of bits of business. You've stole Lenny Yoro from under Liverpool's and Real Madrid's noses. I mean, hasn't quite worked out, but we'll wait and see what happens on that one. But in terms of where you're at now, you mentioned the business. Are you happy? And the Manuel Ugarte one, is that likely to be done ahead of the weekend? Is it likely he'll feature even if he is a Man United player by then?
Well, with the Ugarte one, I'll touch on that first. Ugarte, I would start him because I think we need him, honestly. I mean, you all watched Casemiro last season. He was really, really poor. This season he started okay, but I still think against a Liverpool side that are going to be on it, which, to be fair, I've watched quite a bit of you under Slot so far, and you look good. Like you say, it's only Ipswich and Brentford, but you still look good. And then obviously we played you in pre-season. I was there, and you look good then. So I think we need energy in that midfield. I think we need to start Ugarte. Knowing Erik ten Hag, he won't, because he very rarely throws players straight in. De Ligt didn't come straight in. Maguire's been starting. I think he will start against Liverpool at the weekend. He did put Mazraoui straight in, but that was because we literally didn't have any other fullback. So I don't think Ugarte will start, but let's see. I think he will be with the squad because we're hoping that it is going to be announced and he is going to train with the squad before the Liverpool game. So I think he will be available. And then across the transfer window, I think United have done a good job. I gave it when we doing our show previously, I gave it a 7 out of 10. I think we've addressed some really important positions. I think we've shifted some players on that needed to be shifted. But for me, the only thing where I think could it have been better is I'm not sure if we've really brought in any proper, you are definitely in the starting 11 now. Like some proper first teamers. Yoro, great bit of business, like you said. Real Madrid and Liverpool were after him. We managed to get him. Got injured, so unfortunately we've not really got to see him that much. Looked good when he first played. De Ligt, I think he comes in and starts over Maguire against Liverpool, so that's a good one. Mazraoui, so far, I wasn't sure how good he was going to be. He's looked really good, but you're only 2 games in. The thing is, for me, is if I was United, I would have gone and got Ivan Toney. I would have gone and got a proper goal scorer, and that's proven in the Premier League, because I think that's what we've lacked. Whether Xerxes can do it and whether when Højlund comes back from injury he's going to be able to kick on, I really hope they can, because they look promising. But I also think we're missing a left back as well. So ultimately, we've done well. We have signed quite a few players, but because Man United have been so far behind, we have needed a lot. So let's see how we go. Left back, I think, could be an issue. Maybe goals, striker position could be a potential problem. But I'm hoping that Xerxes and Højlund are going to be able to kick on, because they are young and they do look like they've got a lot of potential as well.
No, absolutely. For what it's worth, I think you've done some pretty smart and shrewd business over the course of the summer. But I'm making you right. I don't know whether you've done that needle-moving bit of business that takes you from where you were to catching Liverpool, Man City and Arsenal, if I can put us all in that same bracket. Maybe a top four push is more realistic and possible, but actually bridging the gap to the rest of us does feel a bit far-fetched right now.
I agree.
There's still time in the window. We're recording Thursday early afternoon. Who knows what happens for you now in the end? Ivan Toney still is up for grabs seemingly, so you never know. Injuries, Beth, I want to touch on them with you. They plagued Manchester United. I'm not one of these people that will sit here and say, oh, whatever, everyone gets to. The United had a bad time with injuries last season. At time of recording, as far as we know, I don't think Eric Ten Hag's done his pre-match press conference yet, but how's that injury front looking at Old Trafford?
Well, there is a lot of rumours that Mason Mount is out again, which is just so frustrating for us. Like, obviously, another player that you guys were looking at as well when we signed him. And, we got him in, quite a bit of excitement around him. Obviously, got the number 7. A lot of people debated whether he should have got that straight away. But you know what? He was, he's won a Champions League. He's got talent. All last season, injured. Started the season, I think, quite well. I mean, in the Brighton game, I thought it was our best player. Had to come off at half-time because he had a little bit of a knock, Eric Ten Hag said. In the opening game against Fulham, I thought he did really well. You want to see him kick on. Apparently, he might be injured, which kind of is interesting for us, because we would have thought Eric Ten Hag would play that false 9 with Bruno, like he has done in the big games over recent times. And especially against Liverpool, you would thought he would do that. So that kind of ruins that plan, because that's how he's been playing it with Mount and Bruno. So we'll see how he deals with that. You might see Xerxes coming to the side. Luke Shaw, obviously, like, when is he not injured? He's still injured. Malassi has been injured for over a year. Lindelof's out. But apart from that, we've pretty much got everyone available. Obviously, Højlund's injured. He comes back, and then you've got Yoro as well. But the ones that have been injured since the start of the season, there's no one planning to return. Any fresh injuries, we'll have to wait for Eric Ten Hag to speak, but it looks like Mount's going to be out, which could affect the way we were planning to play, to be fair.
Yeah, well, just on that then, let's pick up on that point if we can, because I was going to ask you sort of in and around the starting 11, and of course, sort of stylistically and system-wise and tactically, how you might approach this game.